Yes, sir. You know the fucking vibes. NYCFC Forever podcast is back. Coming off a loss against Atlanta. But hey, spoiler alert, we got the whole gang in here. Gang. Sanchez is back from down south, deep in the south of the equator. Sanchez, what up?
Yeehaw.
Yeah. As they say in Ecuador, yeehaw.
You ever saw Little Nicky back in the day?
It's been so long since.
Oh,
but yeah,
he was just like, I'm from the South, the deep South.
The deep South.
Oh,
Chicken is the shiznit. That's like the only thing I remember from that movie. That was one big ass ad for fucking Popeyes.
The video game was too.
It was a video.
It was a video game?
Yeah, on the Game Boy. It was the Little Nicky.
I didn't know
Little
that.
Nicky video game, and it was just him collecting Popeyes.
Can you get that game now for like the Switch or something?
Nah, I probably could get it like on
emulators.
Yeah,
Let me see if I can find it. That'd be hilarious, yo.
Oh,
I didn't know
man,
that.
Little Nicky.
Sanchez, what's good, bro? How was
much.
how was everything?
I was down in the furthest south I've ever been on the earth.
Wow.
Santiago, Chile. And yeah, that's pretty south. It's pretty.
Is more south than Brazil?
Yeah,
I actually looked at the map. It's below Sao Paulo and
wow.
below Rio. Yeah, it's below. It's further down where I've been, at least. Yeah. It was. Oh, you know what? I want to send you a picture, Yousef, of my flight because this was pretty cool. My view from the flight because it was
good.
Yo, what's up, guys? I was not in Chile. I was in the South Bronx. That's the southwest.
That's the point of the Bronx.
The southwest point of the Bronx.
It's where they talk like this in the Bronx. Yeehaw, motherfucker.
Run them sneakers, fool.
Run them. Them sneakers look like they my size.
Yousef goes, you wear a size 14 also?
Imagine getting run up on a horse in 2025.
Hey, listen.
Oh man,
There's a dude who came out with a song that was like
Old Town Road.
It was like a Nelly song. I think it was. Oh wow.
Oof.
But that's pretty horrendous.
Yeah, it was terrible. But I can see
it looks a lot better on my phone.
It looked good here on this side.
Oh,
there you go. Boom. Cleared up.
Yeah, that was my view. Like you see la Cordillera, that's the Andes Mountains.
Wow.
It goes all the way down. And that's it was probably the hardest landing I've ever had on a flight because Santiago, I didn't know till I landed that it has some altitude. Not a lot. It's 1,700 feet, which is not nothing, but it's not a lot. Something. And it's like you're in the mountains. You're flying over the mountains. You guys seen the La Sociedad de Nieve, right? The movie?
Yeah.
The Society of Snow. The whole time I'm wide awake looking out the window. I'm like, all right, we got to walk that way. All right. If we land here, we might make it.
Let me tell you something, bro. You ain't making it, bro.
Yo, you got in there, Bear Grylls,
something else, brother. You're gonna be like, all right, we gotta turn around. Then you try to move, and then boom, you can't.
Yeah. You know,
because you're buried in that shit, yo.
Yeah, nah,
I was out there, bro.
I had my seatbelt on. I was snug. Because I get in planes and I don't get up ever.
Yeah.
You know, like if
you just straight raw dog it the whole time?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I don't get up. I don't. And this was a long flight. I ain't gonna lie. I don't get up. This is a long flight. It was like what is it? Almost 6 hours to Panama, and then another 6 hours from Panama to Santiago. It's pretty intense
flight, man.
Yeah. Direct flights are like 10 hours and change. 10 hours.
Yeah, no, that's how you get that flight with the little aisle seat in the back where the little cutout, and just every so often you do one.
Yo, my dad was so pissed because one of the flights, we were the row in front of the emergency row, so the seat doesn't go back.
That's whack. So damn,
I don't put my seat back either way. Like,
you don't even put your seat back?
Nah, because I'm courteous to the people behind me. Nah.
Like, you don't have to do it too much. I feel like my courtesy point is that I don't do it too much. Like,
my courtesy point is I pay for
I'm like,
I'm moving. Like,
No, I sit up straight, you know, because maybe if I go too far back, my snores might be louder.
And there it is, ladies and gentlemen. That's the truth. There's always an underlying truth. Nah, I'm trying to be courteous. Nah, he just don't want to be snoring in that bitch.
No, I'm just trying to be courteous. I'm being courtesy of everybody, you know what I mean? So, but yeah, I raw dog these plays. I put the seatbelt on. If I go to sleep, I go to sleep. If I'm awake, I'm awake.
Do you bring anything? Something to watch, something to read, something to listen to?
Netflix did me dirty. They didn't let me watch anything I downloaded on the way back for some reason.
Maybe
like I left America downloading some stuff.
Yeah.
Okay.
On the way there, I was able to watch it, and I still had stuff left over. On the way back, they didn't let me watch it. I don't no comprendo. ¿Qué pasó?
Said different country use like different Wi-Fi's.
Yeah.
I don't know, but the whole way down, I watched, and then the movies I watched like 6 movies that I just listened to because I slept through 6 movies.
So you ended up sleeping anyways.
I always sleep on planes. I have no problem sleeping on planes. I go to sleep immediately. Like I go to sleep before the plane takes off. I'm like, I'm out.
You ever find yourself like not a drool, but just kind of like catch yourself one time like, okay, like
yeah, sleeping, bro. I'm out cold.
Because that's my not my fear, but it's my I know when I get to that point, I just like I force myself up because I know that if I fall asleep one more time, it's just gonna be like I'm gonna wake up to that shit just.
What's your go-to seat? Is it the aisle or is it the window?
I'm the window because I don't get up.
Aisle. Oh yeah, I'm aisle because I do get up, and also because of my knee.
Like, I do aisle. I do the window. I'm never getting up.
Yeah,
you got don't ever wake me up. Oh, my dad woke me up for food. That was pretty cool. I was like,
what kind of food they had on the flight? Like regular food or just like
the same fucking food? All 4 flights was the same fucking thing. Chili con carne with cornbread. And I was just like, this is prison food. I used to not eat this in prison purposely.
Oh no.
This was like this is like that 1 meal a week that I would just be like, you know what? I'm skipping chow hall. Like, I'm good with this. And then literally all I have.
Wow, what a
Copa Airlines and Panama, just like Colombia, flights of you're doing layover flights there, coming to America, to the US.
Great movie.
At the gate, you have to they put metal detect you again at the gate, and they check your bags. They don't let you bring anything, no water, nothing. Damn, nothing. And it's like, I'm thirsty. You ask them for a cup of whatever, and it's like a fucking 2-ounce cup. You know what I mean? It's like a fucking little shot glass of
water.
Of water, yeah, whatever it is, yeah. I'm like dehydrated here, bro. Like
it's just enough to like get that. It's literally like you drank something and then that's it.
Yeah, go back to sleep.
That's insane, bro.
Yeah.
Now
the whole struggle.
I'm thinking maybe you have to do a little research to see if the owner of that company of the flight is like some way connected with the prison system. Because like, why they got the same food? You know,
it's the chili con carne. They did give me a breakfast at one point in one of the flights. I know going there, a croissant with ham and cheese. I ain't gonna lie, no, with egg and cheese.
Ooh,
no, it was egg. It was egg and cheese in the croissant. I ain't gonna lie, them eggs was fluffy.
You took the eggs?
Hell yeah! I'm starving. It's been like hours since I've eaten. You know,
I mean, nowadays that's a delicacy. You know, that's a high level picky up delicacy.
How you doing?
Yeah, that's an $18 meal right there. You know,
on a croissant too.
Yeah, on a croissant, yeah, you're doing too much right now.
Yeah,
no powder eggs. That's a fluffy.
That's big money right there.
I was like fluffy eggs. Real fake eggs. Them real fake eggs came out of a carton.
Nah.
So tell us about the trip, man. It was World Cup qualifiers.
Yes, it was. Ecuador versus Chile in Chile. It was first off my first time in Chile, Santiago, Chile. It was the first time I ever been there. It's a really metropolis type of a city. It's like almost like New York vibes in the sense like the buildings, hustling and bustling. I stayed in a very, very like I don't want to say upscale neighborhood because there was way more upscale neighborhoods, but it was like very Williamsburgish. You know what I mean? Like Bushwick was very bohemian type of environment. And I felt safe. I walked around at night, all hours of night. It was nice. It was clean everywhere. The whole city was clean. There was no garbage anywhere on the streets.
What was like
None of that.
the energy like in the city?
In what sense?
Like like were people out? Like was it a very walkable city, or do you have to drive everywhere?
Yes. No, there's it's walkable. They have a mass transit system. Like they have trains, they have buses, they have one. I think one of the best train like subway systems in South America.
Oh, where? That's what's up.
Yeah, and they have a really good bus line. And yeah, it's really accessible to get around.
How close is it to the desert? Because I know, like, I think north of the city, it could get really deserty.
Well, the whole city was dry.
So that's what I was going to ask.
It was dry vibes the whole time.
Okay, so not a lot of greenery. It's very like.
But there was a lot of parks. There's a lot of greenery. There's a lot of parks and stuff like that. But the desert might not be too far from there. Like it's.
Okay.
If you look at the picture from the overhead view, those mountains look dry as hell.
Yeah, that should look way dry.
And it's the fall. Like, the fall just started.
All right, so I want to ask you then, this one right here, so this is where?
This is Estadio Nacional. This is the national stadium. This is where Chile plays almost all their games, and La U de Chile, the team U de Chile, they play here.
Is that sorry, I want to ask, is that the team of our friends from out here?
No,
they support. No, but do we know anybody that from La U?
Yes, Claudio and Miguel.
Hey, let's go.
Yeah, but I'll since you mentioned the other team, I'll send you something.
Yeah, because I think you that one for sure. Now I remember. Yeah, you definitely did some business out there with that one.
Yeah, I went out to the Estadio Monumental where Colo Colo plays.
How far is this from like, let's say the main area of?
This is Santiago? Right there. This is not that far. This was like a 10-minute Uber ride for me, the Estadio Nacional. And it's not that far from like the downtown area. So but the Colo Colo Stadium is much more south. That one's kind of far. It was one of the furthest stadiums like Uber rides I took, because the airport's kind of close to the city as well. The airport's pretty close to the city and everything.
Did you just do a stadium tour?
Yeah, I did the stadium tour at Estadio Monumental, which is this picture right here at Colo Colo.
Okay.
Nice.
And that was pretty cool.
That's a cool stadium, man.
It's weird because the whole stadium is in ground, so like it's like level, like the top of the seats is level with the street.
Also, right now where you're at, that's kind of that street level technically.
Basically, yeah.
Oh, shit.
Which is kind of cool. Like from outside the stadium, you couldn't picture how big it could be.
Portland is kind of like that too, no? Where it kind of is like on street level.
I think it was more like a hill. I'll say that was like a hill, kind of.
Yeah, there's probably stadiums like that around the league.
Thing is like that.
Dodger Stadium,
Colorado.
Dodger Stadium, yeah.
Dodger Stadium is like that, especially the outfield side, where the parking lots are, is like you're level with the top of the section.
Yeah, I love putting trips like this because
but it was cool. Like the whole experience, like economy wise, affordability. I didn't see it that affordable coming from American. No, it was very almost 1-to-1 ratio in prices on everything.
Okay,
fucking expensive, yo.
Yeah, I would say expensive. It's an expensive city. The only thing affordable that I saw was transportation, like the buses and the Ubers. Like a 20-minute Uber ride would be maybe like $7 or $8.
Oh wow, man, cheap.
Yeah, but
at least you could get around.
Yeah, and the swipe for the train and everything was 770 pesos, which is like 85 cents, 90 cents. So that's kind of
cheap.
Yeah. But everything else, like food wise, it wasn't cheap. Food was kind of expensive. Like I went out
to visit.
Huh? I would go back. There's so much more to do in Chile outside of Santiago.
Okay,
that's the thing. So like Santiago is like the main city, is like the main everything, but the country has so much more to offer than just the city.
Okay.
You know, you got the Patagonias, you got the beaches, you got some other stuff. Like there's a lot of things to do nature wise. Like if you're into nature walks and nature stuff, if you like want to go to their Yellowstone or something, like there's
a lot. Patagonia.
Yeah, there's a lot of things to do outside of the city itself, outside of the city limits. And overall, the people were friendly. The people were nice. I saw a fight in a street fight, like 20 feet from us, and I was just like, "Oh snap!" But there was like, it was like in a touristy area, so there was cops everywhere in this part, and like in the Plaza de Armas. I went to like the cathedral. We walked into the Cathedral of Santiago, and it was during mass, so we caught like the last 10 minutes of mass. I'm like, I don't even remember the last time I've been in church for a mass, and we caught like the last 10 minutes of mass.
¿Te vacinaste?
No. We're not. Relax. And then yeah, so we saw a fight, and I was like, oh shit, let's be careful. And then I'm just like, kind of want to see where this goes. And then the cops like immediately showed up and just like smacked the one dude. And we're like, yo, get out of here. And then just broke it up, and everybody went on their way.
That's ill.
Yeah.
Get out of here.
It was weird. Do you ever find it weird, like being in a foreign country and seeing something like that, where you're like you, because you don't know how authorities are gonna act. Like over here, you know exactly how authorities may respond to a scenario, but when I'm somewhere else and I see something crazy happen, I'm always just like, you want to just stare, but also like, all right, how is this being dealt? Because in Turkey, I saw some wild business involving like a couple. And that guy got away with a lot before it got broken up. And I was just like, holy shit, like what is happening right now?
I learned like it's worse for us though, no?
I learned very quickly how aggressive the police in Santiago, Chile are. Los carabineros, they're called, not like, they don't call them policía, they call them carabinero.
Okay.
These dudes.
The story behind that? Sorry?
It's just the name. I guess the name is rooted in something in history, in Chilean history.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah. I went to a museum also, you know, getting all my cultural shit. But the cops are like super aggressive. There's none of that like, hey, can you guys please get away from this area? It's none of that nice talk. It's like real, like, get the fuck out of here now. Like pushing people immediately. Like that's like their initial interaction.
Already on 10.
There's no de-escalation with the Chilean police. It's really rough. And it was kind of eye-opening seeing how the night before party, there was like a previa at the Ecuador's team hotel, and we were waiting for them to arrive from the airport, and we're just waiting, and everybody's like, the large crowd was like 300 people there, and all of a sudden these like armored tanks arrived, and one of them, like, there was like giant armored like you would think they're military tanks. This is what you would think. Like the tires have metal shields covering the tires so no one can punch a hole in it. Then you see this thing pull up, and I'm like, what the hell is this? And I take a closer, like, before I took this picture, me and my brother were looking at this from afar, and like, what the fuck is this? Someone mentioned, I hope we don't get wet tonight. I'm like, what do you mean? And then this thing rolls up. It's a high pressure water cannon.
Oh, yes,
for crowd control. And the thing was pointing to the front when they pulled up, and then it did that whole "don't be a menace." Do we have a problem here? Pointed directly at me and my brother. From like 100 feet away, is like literally to our faces, and we're like, "Oh shit, let's get the fuck away from this."
Yeah,
Bro, yo, I noticed like the background in the building on the terrace, like,
oh yeah, right here,
because there was like 300-400 people outside the team hotel waiting for the players to arrive.
All I'm saying is, when you got your windshields behind metal grates, then you're expecting shit to come also your way.
That's like the Chinese restaurants in the hood where they got the grates on the window.
Yeah. You can't see it here, but the tires have a metal plate covering the tire, so you can't poke a hole in it from the side.
Oh, right here.
No, the tire. Yeah. That's like a metal shield.
Oh shit. Okay.
Yeah, you can't see the tires. I'm like, damn, these guys really take crowd control and riot control very seriously. Well, Chile has a history of protesting, a very social political uprisings in history, and especially the last 50 years. It has, so I guess the police have mastered the art of crowd control and stuff like that. In the stadium, I saw the police like with drones, with the water hoses on the drones.
Jesus.
Like massive drones, like huge things. I'm like, what the hell?
You mean like on the drones, like
water hose on the drone, the spout.
I thought you were like so like they're legit like flying drones out, and it's just like, all right, now we also got water.
Yeah,
that's exactly what you mean.
Yeah, you know, a drone.
Yeah,
I think about like a 8-foot wingspan drone with a water hose attached to it.
That's fucking crazy.
Flying over the crowd, the visitor section, like
just in case
on the exit at the exit.
Yeah, man, you just walk out. You hear
I wanted to take a picture. I couldn't take a picture because the cops were like pushing everybody, like walk that way. I'm like, all right, bro, like this is crazy. Like
bro, we're trying to get a picture of the drone. What are you doing?
There was no sense of a need of that type of urgency from the police. Like everybody was falling out normally, like how you would normally expect it.
Everybody's a criminal to them.
Everybody, yeah, that's how they treat.
That's how they treat everybody.
That's how they kind of treated. They treated everybody, yeah.
But you had a good time with your dad and your brother and everything.
Yeah, it was cool. Like getting spend time with them. Like that's always interesting.
Can you show the picture, Yousef? That fire.
Because I want to ask, like, talk us through the match a little bit.
That's dope.
Yeah, so we that's inside the stadium in the supporter section. You could the visitor section. You could kind of see on both sides. There's like a metal gate.
Oh yeah, I see it on
this metal gate is like 4x4 inch solid steel.
Does it have spikes on the top? It looks like it has a little
100% it has spikes. Sharpened spikes, bro. This shit was not fucking like we were in a pen, bro. We were like, and the bottom of the section, this is towards the top. The bottom of the section was like 1 inch bulletproof glass.
Wow.
Like this
was crazy out there, I guess.
It is nuts. The security levels in between each section, like you could kind of see behind the picture in the far corner.
Right here.
Up.
Where you want me to?
Yeah. So the sections, like where they divide, when the corner section comes off, meets the midfield section. There's a gate there. There's fences along dividing every like.
Oh, okay. I see right here. Yeah.
Yeah, right there. Yeah, and it's all dividing the La Galerías, like this. Yeah, shit. Exactly. Yeah, it's nuts. And then the Colo-Colo Stadium was even crazier. It's like there was actual barbed wire on top of each fence.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's like you going into matches just like we may just be here for a minute.
Well, they held us in the section. Look how empty the stadium is. This is after the game. They held us in the section a solid 45 minutes after the game.
Damn.
This is the tunnel right here. The tunnel exit, where the blue blow up thing is.
Yes.
You know, like those.
But they moved that. That's not what the exit is. The exit. But they moved that. They leave it there. But the stadium was empty, and we're still sitting in the stadium. Like there was nobody there. Like there was a point where all the staff of the stadium was already like leaving, and we're still sitting in there.
They forgot about you.
Well, that about to be there overnight.
We couldn't even go to the, we couldn't even
how
go
the
to
line
the
says? Say the line.
What?
What we kept sharing on Instagram. Say the line.
Bro, I have no idea.
One of the favorite movies.
Oh, now yous can't leave.
Now yous can't leave. Yeah, they now yous can't leave this. We couldn't even use the bathroom in this period.
Of course not.
Like, and it was like this was like a kind of like those old English stadiums where each door, like entrance to the stadium, has its own block where you can't go left or right. Like, you have your own bathroom, your own concession stand, and your own section, and that's it. You can't go left or right. There's nowhere to go or like walk through the concourses.
I fucked up like that at
it's a good view though
in Scotland at the National Stadium in Scotland.
Mm-hmm.
We went into the wrong entrance. They were like, "You stupid fucks!" Da, da, da.
Oh,
we got through though, but it was wild.
But yeah, overall the trip was good. Like obviously winning would have been the great, but tying 0-0 is still a good thing.
Yeah.
One step closer for Ecuador qualifying the World Cup, and one massive step closer to Chile not qualifying for the World Cup, which is rooted a little bit in why we chose this game to go to, because Chile is the reason that the Ecuador started these qualifiers with -3 points because they went to cry to FIFA over some bullshit. Valid bullshit, but they didn't have to go cry for them. Like they didn't have to do that.
You just take it in,
yeah, and then you're still getting eliminated from the World Cup.
Damn.
So yeah, so that was the atmosphere. That's why the section sold out. It was 2,000 seats. It was sold out.
Wow.
Yeah, and there was plenty of people who couldn't get in because the rest of the stadium they didn't allow people without Chilean ID to buy tickets.
I saw that video of you on the news. That was dope because it looked like a lot of people in the plaza there. That was ill. A lot of the day before the match. Yeah, he was on the news.
Oh, I didn't see that.
He put on a story.
No.
Yeah, there was like a journalist and then they pan to the crowd and he's like literally in front of the drums. Just
I didn't see that.
He's basically leading.
Being a capo?
He was leading it. Yeah, he was like a capo and shit.
Yeah, that was pretty cool. I didn't even notice that camera until someone sent it to me afterwards.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, and then the video I posted the other day, I shared with this like Ecuadorian podcaster who was there. And I was like, I met him at Copa America last year, so I was like, let me go say hi to him. And he's like, yo, before we say hi, let me do a video because I guess he was doing fan reactions post game.
Oh, okay.
And I did that, and that was pretty cool. Like, and then he shared it. I'm actually the face of when you scroll on someone's page.
Yeah. The thumbnail.
The thumbnail. I'm the thumbnail in that post.
Hey.
Yeah. So, but yeah, that was pretty cool. And then we said what's up, and
Well, dope, man. I'm glad you had a dope experience.
Yeah, it was. I got sick. World Cup
qualifiers.
I got sick the Monday. I guess maybe I'm going to put it on the food, but I want a specific food. I had an empanada.
Oh,
and it was not like the bodega empanadas. It was like a Chilean empanadas, and over there they just call them empanadas, right? It's like it's huge. It's pretty big. It's like bigger than a beef patty, you could say, square like that, and it's filled with like ground beef, chopped onions. There was egg in there. There was a olive. I've never seen an olive that big. It was huge. It's like a golf ball. And it was an amazing flavor. But my dad said it immediately after his first bite. He's like, I'm not gonna eat this because this is gonna mess me up. I can't. It's like it's not dry. It's moist. It's like a wet sauce type of thing going on.
Okay.
I'm like, this is so good. I ate it, and I truly believe it was that specifically that just like ruined my Monday. My Monday sucked. That was for breakfast.
Damn.
And then I was like dehydrated. I had to go to the pharmacy at 2 a.m. to get some Pepto-Bismol because they don't sell it at the gas station or whatever.
That's that, bro. That's grease. Yeah. That's all that grease.
It was that because I ate the day before. Like we had a couple meals and stuff, but I was fine, and I was using the bathroom regularly. Like it was normal. Like I was just normal, and then this thing I think it was specifically that cooked me.
Cooked you.
But yeah, it was great. I would love to go back to Chile, but not just soccer stuff, to do other stuff because there was so much more to do, and that country is so massive yet so small that it's all accessible to do in a short period of time if given the time.
Nice. Hell yeah. Sounds like it was a successful trip. So on to the next one.
Yeah, that was okay.
Mm-hmm. All right, y'all. This is obviously NYCFC, New York City Football Club podcast, and we had a match yesterday against our former coach, former gaffer, the man who got us that star above our crest, RONNY DEILA. We played against Atlanta United, and we ended up losing 4-3. And guys, it was a fun match to watch. A lot of goals, 7 goals, lots to talk about here. So let's start off with the lineup. If you got that, Yousef, put it up, and Sanchez, take it away.
Okay. In goal, we have Matt Freese coming off a week where he should have been the U.S. national team goalkeeper.
Oh, yeah. We talked a lot about that.
Just throw that. I listened to the pod last week. Hey, nice. First off, fuck you guys.
Hey, I was clapping back, son. Y'all started it. You heard?
But So we have a lineage on the right, Martins, Justin Hack starting at center back, Kevin O'Toole at left back. We got Johnny Shore and Kean Parks holding down the defensive and attacking midfield with Julian Fernandez, Maxi Morales, and Hannes Wolf. And Alonso Martinez coming off of scoring a goal against I forgot who he scored against, but he scored a goal for Costa Rica over the weekend.
He had 2 assists as well.
Yeah, so he's coming in hot.
He's balling. He's balling.
Yes.
Overall, positive to the matches, negative to the match. How'd you guys feel?
The lineup. Well, my concern was that the lineup is solid.
Yeah.
My concern was the bench. I noticed there was no Maxi Carrizo on the bench.
Yeah, what's up with that?
No Maximo Carrizo. That was kind of interesting. Like, we're playing on the turf field, and you're automatically gonna have Maxi Morales play 90. You know, like that's the issue. Because then because you have no like for like sub for him. So then what does that mean? That if you were to sub Maxi out, that means we're gonna go park the bus time. You know, that was
we
my
carried
thought.
one midfielder with us.
Yeah.
Just one.
Yeah.
And it's like some homegrown.
Two goalkeepers on the bench.
A 16-year-old.
You know, it's like the bench was very suspect, and that kind of probably plays a role into why the substitutions happened at the time that they happened, because we didn't really have much options to go with. So
we had nobody.
That was my concern. Starting lineup, I was like, this is a solid lineup. This is really good right here if everybody could produce. This is a really good lineup.
I thought Ojeda was going to start over Fernandez just because I feel like he there's been like platooning that role, and he started the last match, and it was what it was. I figured maybe like, hey, try something different so that maybe it looks different, but nah, he just went with the same one. I didn't expect Keaton to start after getting the knock the last match as well, which that was very surprising.
They said he was training fully trained on Thursday. So if you fully train the day before the travel day, you're gonna play.
Just because this, given his turf, it's gonna be a scrappy match because a RONNY team is gonna try to, at least this one, they're gonna try to get one over us because they're struggling. So they're gonna be up for the match. I just figured he was gonna at least take it easy, maybe come in like as a sub, but have just take it a little slower. Given that it's still early, you don't want him to like catch a knock, be good in training, and then be out of game, and then somebody slide tackles him, and then it's over. But I don't know. We should have came out of this one. There's just no excuse for what happened there.
It's a lot of bonehead mistakes. Obviously, we came in unbeaten in 3. They were winless in 4. So I think, we were trying to get that first win on the road. I think the team was up for it. We at least it seemed that way, especially being able to score so quickly off that mistake that Atlanta made. I thought that was very smart play on our part. But I think at the end of the day, it was mistakes that cost this game. I mean, we had the Keaton mistake. Sorry, dog's barking. We had the Keaton mistake, and we also had the Martins/Freeze mistake that went in, and that cost us 2 goals right there. I mean, obviously, momentum swings. Yes,
swinging goals. Both of them were momentum swinging goals.
But even by then, it's like it was already like I want to say like the first 70 minutes of the match.
Yeah,
we were looking like it was for like, all right, we had this. And even I think I texted you guys. I got a point and was like, yo, this is like good looking football that we're playing. Like it looks really like it's flowy. Like it's like, oh shit, this is like you said, it was a very fun match.
Sorry.
I'm just saying like the last 20, 25 minutes, it just felt like there was just this mental collapse of either just not being there or trying to think like it was coasty.
Yeah.
Maybe I don't know if you were expecting subs as the players were maybe expecting subs and like not seeing it, being tired, whatever it was. Those last 20, 25 minutes, Atlanta found life and you could tell like, hey, they look like they feel confident again. Yeah. Like we can come I think about at 3-1. How do you feel confident at 3-1? That's how bad we were playing. That they felt confident coming back at that point.
I think the confidence came though after the mistake, though. After Keaton's mistake, because then it was like, all right, now we're just down a goal. This is anybody's game at this point.
But they were in position there at that point.
They seemed defeated. But at the end of the day, too, you got to remember, there's a big crowd. There was over 40,000 people there at the Benz. You got Ronnie DEILA, who you know is like, yo, it's either win or die. You know, what was the quote? I'd rather lose 5-4.
I'd rather win
0-0 draw.
Rather win 5-4 than win 1-0.
Exactly. And so you know,
he came out with the Stone Island. Now he came with the shit.
Stone, he was a little big. He should have went a size lower. You know,
oversized. Papi is this. He's trying to be hip. You know what I mean? He's in Atlanta now.
He's European.
I listen to
the
pregame with Glenn Crooks.
Yeah,
and or Maddie Lawrence, and they saying that he lives like in a very hipster neighborhood in Buckhead.
Of course, he's in Buckhead. Oh yeah, it's a Buckhead.
That he's like.
That's where the other stadium was, right? The first one.
Bobby Dodd is actually not too far from where they're at.
Okay, yeah. Buckhead, Georgia.
Buckhead is where they. Yeah, it's like I don't know.
It's a city in Atlanta, not a city, but just a town.
Yeah, it's very hip and cool.
Yeah, we stayed there. A few of us stayed in Buckhead.
That's where we stayed.
Yeah, we stayed.
Or you and me, right?
Yeah.
Oh,
it's in the trenches out there. That's what I'm saying. That's why I laughed, because it's like a
he probably lives like on the nice part of town.
Yeah, no, it's like a Bushwick type area, you know, because like you hear Bushwick for us, we like, oh shit, Bushwick, but you know, Bushwick to
you go from one block to
the kids
another.
From Ohio, it's like, oh, the Bushwick is great, love Bushwick.
Speaking of Bushwick, my mom said something the other day. We were talking about like New York, whatever, and she mentioned the word that like I haven't heard in a while, but I knew what it meant. She's like, oh, he's from Los Sures. You ever heard people say Los Sures? Those are where the South Bushwick.
Oh, that's what y'all.
That's what people call it. Used to call it Los Sures. Like it was like the bad neighborhood.
Yeah.
Like the bad part of like
South.
Bushwick. Yeah. They was like, oh, my mom was like, oh, he's from Los Sures, and I was like, yo. I took me a second. I was like, wait, are you talking about Bushwick? And she's like, yeah, por allá. And I was like, I haven't heard someone say it like that. And then I saw a post about like old New York, and it was like Los Sures, and I was like, oh,
that's funny, yo.
Yeah.
The world's
running out. He's out there. I don't know. I think these mistakes is what eventually killed us. And Atlanta had mistakes too. They just capitalized on theirs. But one thing I will say is, listen, I don't care who is the leader of this team, who's the gaffer, who's the coach. There's always going to be pushback on social media. You always constantly seeing, oh, this coach don't know what he's doing, this and that. No matter who it is, from fucking Jason Christ to Nick Cushion to Pascal, everybody's getting pushed back. But for me, I think, and I said it on the last week episode, I've said it on the podcast before. I think he's doing a pretty good job with what he's got.
Yeah,
I love the changing of the lineups. I love that he's trying to figure something out. I mentioned last week that this could potentially be a game where you just toy with the lineup as much as you want, but I don't know. I think you got to give it to him, man. I think he's doing a good job so far in the first 5-6 games of the season so far. So
the thing with him is like, what was it? In either the Glenn Crooks interview, like they have that talk that they do with the coach, where he's saying like how he's learning this sort of like MLS world of having to like call up these kids essentially and deal with how many times you can actually play them, all that extraness. It just like he's in that. I think he's locked in on. We're gonna have to hold on steady with this roster.
Yeah.
What can I do here?
What can you do? You know,
because there hasn't been rumors of signings happening. So it's like
anybody.
Where's the signings going to come from out of nowhere?
I think 90 minutes almost.
Yeah.
The transfer window must be closing. Must be closing soon, right? Let me look that up real quick.
For us, I think MLS you can sign players until I think the first week of April. I think around there or second week. But like free agents, I believe is not even
April 23rd.
Yeah. So even on third week, we got time.
3 weeks.
But there's no free agents. Like, got to look at like who's out there. But But like,
Yeah, you guys
like
you only sign free agents from abroad.
Yeah,
and the only way they become free agents is if they're already
Release.
a free agent,
or they can ask for the release,
or their current team releases them.
So it's hard, man. Like, and I'll say yes, he's doing great, but I think this is the first match where you can criticize him on certain things. His subs did come really, really late into this match. Like by like the 60th, 55th to the 60th minute, you started seeing that tide change of like, hey, there's something going on here where some players here look tired or they're just not like they're getting like exploited. You needed to make a change. Like Ojeda should have been in there by the 60th minute. Not think
came in the 80th. He came in 80.
Yeah.
Risa came in 84. Bakra in 90.
And then granted, that's really all he had. I think who was left after that was
bench-wise? There was
bench-wise, he had nobody. Drew Barea and
Savage. Because we had two keepers, so it's like who else? You got two defenders in the midfield, and the midfield is it hasn't debuted yet.
He literally used everybody he had.
Short-term contracts.
Yeah, so it sucks. It's just like, but even through all of that, we still should have came out of that with the win, because how do you allow a team that's struggling? Like Atlanta's struggling. They're 12 for a reason, or were 12. I don't know if they stayed in the same spot. Like they haven't found themselves. They're not really scoring. Ronnie still is really only using really two players. Is really like Latte? Yeah, Latte and Miggy are their spark plugs, and Gusan is just holding it down for the 40-year-olds.
I mean, we're right in front of them though. We're
all
11. They're 11 and we're 10th.
Think of that, and we were 8th and then 12. Like they were, but again, they were struggling. Like so for that to have happened is very demoralizing. Not necessarily because okay, cool, we don't have people on the roster, but like, y'all fucked yourselves over on this one. Like, how do you reconcile that in the immediate future? Like, I know you have to get the next match mentality, but there's some like I feel like there's just some personnel issues going on with this team right now, at least from afar. How I'm reading into it.
Elaborate on that, because I'm like, elaborate on.
All right, so then you have first is Martins, right? Martins has the armband, but the way he's vocal about when things go wrong, and this is not just this season. This even last season that you've seen it as well. When things go wrong and it's sort of he's involved, he becomes he projects. Like he'll start bringing other people into being upset about something. And yeah, granted, in his mistake, it was shared fault. But deal with it. Deal with the situation, and then go and correct it. Don't look upset that something happened because somebody else didn't bail you out. You're the captain. Like, take charge. Don't. But he's always yelling on times where I'm like, yo, like you could be a leader here and just like lock some people. Like, hey, like let's lock in. Like we're fucking up right now. But then all you do is just get frustrated and then project that frustration over to the next player. Then that player and you now have a little beef and now can't communicate for the rest of the match. And it becomes even more issues and then more issues. And I've seen it way too many times now. And it's just, I don't want to see that from my captain. Like I want to see you be proactive. It's like, all right, yo, my bad. That was on me. You take it, and then in the locker room, you pull Freeze aside and be like, yo, if you see that, you got to be closer up.
That was the last goal that
was the last one. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what put in the fourth one.
Which was we were talking about it last night in the chat, like, and it's been the word like who has more of the blame.
Yeah.
Freeze or Martins, and they both share blame. Freeze initially because maybe he should have came out immediately to try to get the ball, but Martins, I think it's more on Martins because he actually had kind of control of the ball.
Yeah,
the ball was in striking distance of him the whole time, and two things he didn't do: he didn't launch the ball to the moon, and he didn't box out the Atlanta player well enough. like hold them up well enough to create space, and he got beat to the ball as well.
He got beat to the ball.
So it's like both of those things. I contributed more on the goal itself on Martins, because the first mistake happens, but like you still have the opportunity to recover. You still have the opportunity to make his mistake right. And you didn't do that. He waited for him. Like, bro, the ball is right there. Like, you're getting this guy it's only so long you can hold him behind you. And at the way you were holding him up, it wasn't great to begin with. So I put that on him a little bit more.
Yeah, I think initially at first it happened so fast. I'm like, oh shit. Maybe Freeze should have come out and helped a little more. But immediately after rewatching it, because you had mentioned in the chat, he should have roofed it, which, by the way, is a very New York term. Like, I don't think anybody outside of New York City knows what the fuck roofing anything.
He would have sent it. It's like
but he reworded it here. He said kicked it to the moon. But yeah, that's exactly what you meant by roofing it. But yeah, he should have roofed that shit. Like he definitely, the ball was literally right in front of him. He could have did something. He could have done something a little better. Like at least try to pass it to Freeze.
He could have tried to pass it to Freeze. He could have kicked it out of bounds behind the goal. The easiest way was to kick it out of bounds behind the goal, so a corner kick. That would have been the easiest route. Yeah. But he had enough space to wrap around and kick it to the sideline as well. Kick it up. He could have possibly even kicked it backwards if he took half forward.
If you take like a quick like a stance, like, and then you just put a body on I think with Latte.
Yeah.
You put a body on. If you just put a body on him enough, you stop him from running where he just stumbles. You have time to read that ball even better, and then you can take off. Like, I'm gonna ask you guys this.
Hold on, before you ask, because he had time too. Yeah, because there was the ball bounced and he complained
the ball bounced multiple times.
The ball bounced outside of the 8. Where you at? Because he complains. He's like, "Yo, where are you at?" At that point, he should know. Hey, Freeze is not coming up.
Yeah,
let me just get the ball out of the
Yeah,
he should have reacted better. Yeah,
so and that's all right. No, but that goes perfectly with what I'm going to ask you guys. This man is a DP center back. In this league, we know that tag comes with special sprinkle. I don't care that you are worth a major contract in MLS on your team, meaning you're supposed to be held at a level that is above the rest, whether you like it or not, whether listeners here like it or not. That's just the standard. You get a DP label, we're expecting you to act like one,
above and beyond.
Yeah,
that means not just physical skills, but mental.
Be nice.
Yeah, but that also goes to the mental skill. That feels like amateur hour almost.
Yeah,
that feels like rookie mistakes.
Mm-hmm.
And you're a DP. You played in big matches with Corinthians, right? Like you've been in. Yeah, he won a trophy with them. Like, so it's like, you're supposed to be our guy again, captain and a DP. I expect way more, and I think I know we're probably making this, and I definitely am making this moment sort of like the scapegoat moment, because there were plenty of other mistakes throughout the match. But we were. So everything that's wrong with this team right now, no depth.
Palmeiras, you mean?
Palmeiras. Sorry. Yeah, sorry. I fucked up. Yeah. No, thank you for that. It's the green that always gets me confused, because I think the logo, like going like this. But everything that's happened, like that's the makeup of this team right now. We could have. It feels so, because we could have stolen one. It feels like at this point, Red Bulls lost. We would have. Again, those early points that mean something in September, and because you had this moment of mental lapse, we didn't even come out of it with a draw. Now we're chasing you for the last 8. What is it? It was 8 minutes of extra time plus whatever that goal. It's like, yo, dude, like I know you feel secure because Risa's really not fighting at this point. Hack is a better center back than Risa and Martins. Like, it's crazy. Like, what's going to happen to this team? Because it's like we can't figure it out on one side. Defense was something that we kind of like held on to, and now we're seeing that because again, you're a DP. So my question to you now, sorry, it was a long-winded question. Do we work to buy him out of that, buy him down from a DP in order to
just one mistake?
No. Just again, it's just continuing. It's just like it feels like a whole like a body of work from him. Is it worth a DP contract on this team in this league?
Well,
is it worth it?
That question's been asked since he signed. Like, why are we signing a DP center back? Who is I don't want to say a nobody, but he is not somebody of big stature, a big name or career honors to be like, okay, a deserving DP contract. That was always a question from the beginning. The matter of buying him out, who knows if we're even able to buy him out because of MLS rules and stuff like that.
I'm just saying,
but like,
realistic moment, like
realistically, like he will be somebody that whenever his contract is up or when options are available and stuff, which I think might be this year, possibly there might be an option at the end of this year. I would lean towards like let's get a fresh start. You know?
Like
I would lean towards getting a fresh start because to me, one of the things that's always bothered me about him is not him personally. He's like, he wears the captain's armband, but there was never a press release or an announcement that Thiago Martin's the captain.
Yeah.
You know, and that speaks loudly because that shows that you're just the captain for the day. You're not the captain of like the club, the team, and everything that embodies being the face. You know, you're just the highest paid player on the team. Here's the captain's armband, basically. That's kind of what's happening.
It just the moment just kind of like I said, it left me with that like a feeling of like I don't want to see you. You know, like when somebody's talking to you and you're like, yo, get the fuck away from me. Like that's how that moment was for me. I was just like get the fuck away from me right now, man. Like I don't want to be around you just because it's just the reaction spoke so loud to me.
Yeah.
Like you're having this temper tantrum on the field.
And it was your fault.
And it's your fault.
Yeah.
You're also to blame. Yeah, it's not like
you're the one to blame. Shit. Yeah.
It's not just a one-sided blame. It's
and then you're the captain. And on top of that, right? You're the captain. So like, and then beyond this moment, right? You're the captain. You got Miguel Almiron marked in the worst way possible
for the third goal.
For the third goal. Yep, that was on him too.
How you not get yelled in that moment? That's your defense collapsing on it. So allowing Miguel Almiron to not be marked correctly and a ball gets into the box. Like how you allow this man to have a header on you in the box.
The second goal was not a header.
No, the second goal was
the Keaton Parks.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that exactly. So that third goal
that was also kind of poor Keaton Parks. Like
very poor Keaton Parks.
Like
what are you doing?
I felt like he could have maybe not stopped the ball because it was like coming at a high pace. But couldn't you have directed that way better? There was nobody in front of him to be like, let me direct it this way. He literally, it went straight on goal. Like it was literally.
He could have let it run. He could have just let the ball roll.
He could have actually let the ball go too.
Like so, and you know it's crazy because I think I mentioned in live when we were talking about it, he had gotten that deflection that Freeze had to make the stop that injured him.
Yeah,
or not injured that we thought he was gonna get injured. I'm always weary of that moment when someone's like trying to make those kind of stops. Because it's like, I know defenders, you know how like, I always go back to this quote like Kobe, where he's like, if you're a shooter, you should always know where you're at on the court and where the rim is, right? So I feel like defenders, because they're always kind of, they're back to goal in that moment, in those moments where they're like, getting pressed, they know where they're at on the field and they know where their goal is at. So if they deflect, their foot's gonna be or at least hopefully in the right place. Whereas Keaton is not necessarily in those roles. So he was that was happening a lot during the match. So I kept like getting wary about like, yo, Keaton deflects his ball, man. Like, hopefully nothing happens to this. And it actually happened. Like I don't want to put that too much on him because he was actually having a great match, or at least a decent one. But again, like, how do you solve that? Because it's like
those are like weird growing pains in a sense, but it's like these are just errors, mental errors that that I don't know how to fix that. Like the mental part of the game, like things like the Martins goal. It's not like a system issue. It's really like it's the part of the game. Like, you know, this is no matter what system you're playing under. It's always if you're in Martin's positions, like you have to get rid of the ball. You know, the Keane Parks goal that's like the one off. The Almiron goal that's also like were they not set up properly? That was off a corner kick, wasn't it?
No, they were just playing on the.
Oh, they were playing off the corner, yeah, like close to the corner, yeah. Like it's all like defensive shapes and stuff like that. Like, did they miss something in the film room? This is also didn't Pascal also say this week that they saw some things in the film on film that weaknesses that they're getting ready to
exploit.
Yeah, exploit. They missed that one, I guess.
Yeah.
Or they did catch it, but they couldn't execute. Like,
yeah, because if you think about it, bro,
because they were both there.
Yeah,
it went over.
It went right over
and then and Miguel Almiron was right behind him, and he was able to head it in.
Oh. I think Latte was right next to him too, and they both.
That's what I'm saying. Latte.
It was like one of those like this.
Yeah, Latte missed the ball, and
Miguel, but what I was saying is that Martins missed the ball too, because he's one of the ones jumping up, and the ball went directly past him. You know, it's like.
Because here's my thing, like, because now that you brought that up with Sanchez, with the exploiting the moment, our goals for the most part, they weren't built up. You know, we capitalize on mistakes.
Yeah,
which has kind of been like now it's becoming our sort of like our MO this year. So up to this point,
almost every Alonso goal has been off a mistake.
Yeah, which is again dope.
2 mistakes, that means you're the penalty. Well, 3
you're
mistakes
active
because the penalty was the mistake too.
Like you're active there. But I've seen a lot of like, and then correct me if I'm wrong, because sometimes I'll see things during the match and I'm like, oh no, that's different. We're seeing a lot of like Route 1 football going on happening.
Yeah. Yeah.
So is that more or less like he's hoping to play off the rebound and then start the game in the midfield instead of through the back? Like in this scenario,
yeah,
because I always see that like unless you're pinging it where Alonso's just going to be able to grab that and be onside, then I feel like there's always going to just be second chance balls happening. But we need to control the midfield for that.
He's probably playing a little bit to the weaknesses of Atlanta,
and
which is possibly the strengths of our individual players. You know, Kate, like working his system into what's best for the players, like not forcing something onto the players that he doesn't think. Or, I'm not saying they're not capable, but like doesn't think they'll be able to do it as good as doing this going the other way.
Because it just that the fact that we were able to speed it for at least like 70 minutes, and it's just like what's happening in the last moment of the matches, because it's not the first match now that we kind of like let it slip. Miami, we let it slip at the end. LA, we let it slip at the end. Who else? I think was it that got on us at the end.
That was it. That was pretty much it.
Yeah. I mean, because two so far out of 4, yeah, and then or out of 5, and then Columbus, this one,
yeah.
So it's like
3 out of 6 games though. We let slip away,
and he's bro, for them to say for him to also, because in that same time that he said, "Oh, we're gonna exploit some weaknesses," he acknowledges like I see stuff that we are messing up a lot on that we need a correcting on our end. It doesn't seem like that correction is sort of like landing. Like what do you just need the pressure of the depth there? Like what's missing? Because
I think a little bit more time with the system. I remember it's still March. They've only been this is the 6th game of the year. I guess at the end of April and the beginning of May, like a whole month from now, we could revisit this theory of like, is it working or is it not working? But I think we still have to allow a little bit more time with the system, and it could a lot of it could be based on like player availability. You know, like the players we have probably doesn't work as well, and that doesn't and it's reflected on the field.
Yo, are you planning a move and seeking a reliable, veteran-owned company to handle your belongings with care? Well, look no further than Tri-State Marines Moving. Founded by a Marine veteran, Christian and his platoon bring discipline, commitment, and the strength of the core to every job. Whether you're relocating your home or office, need packing and storage solutions, junk removal, or even power washing and Mother Nature cleanups, they got you covered. Serving the tri-state area with pride and professionalism, they ensure a seamless and stress-free moving experience. Listen, I'm not just reading the advertisement here. I actually used these guys a couple months ago and everything turned out great. Everything was placed where we wanted. The best part was nothing was broken. So trust the strength of the Marines for your next move. All their info is found on Instagram, which is at TMM_914. Also, tell them Boop sent you. Tri-State Marines Moving for all your moving needs.
Dave, so I want to ask you, because this is what was the availability report.
You want to try that word again?
Yeah. Availability. Look at that. New York City public schools.
Miss Rachel.
Mm-hmm. So
put it in.
What?
So, I have no
Rachel,
idea
baby.
what's happening. I have no idea what's happening right now.
Malachi
Jones. So, this was just people that are out on because of they're injured, right? So, 3 of them are potential starters. Essentially, they are starters, or obviously
high rotation players.
Yeah, high rotation players. So, when those folks come back, do you think that if they come back, actually Malachi may not even come back. No, it's true. Malachi really may not come back this year.
He's never going to be the same.
I don't even think.
Sad.
I don't even think even with those players there available, we have enough depth.
No, we don't have the depth.
No, we don't.
Even with them coming back, which is crazy.
We don't have impact midfield players.
Yep.
Yes.
I think that's where we're lacking more than the wings and the forward position is midfield. We need to get Maxi Morales some help.
Big time.
You know, we need to get somebody for Keaton Parks, like someone, because Perea is supposed to be that guy, but Perea's been out. He hasn't played all year. So, and he's not really a high impact player. You know, that's not the terminology I would use to describe him.
And I'm liking Hack at the center back position right now, so I kind of don't want to see him in the midfield.
Correct. You know, so we need.
Wait, you're liking who?
At the center back, not in the midfield. I need him. Hey,
that's not me, papi. I'm just asking. El dueño dijo Hack and
nah, at center back, yes. But it's just because like you mentioned earlier, Carrizo wasn't even in the lineup. How is it that you don't bring
maybe
him
something happened in practice?
Trip?
Maybe something happened in practice.
And warm-ups or something that, but still that's the concerning part, that there is no additional depth. There's no third player per position for some positions, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And at Maxi, it's borderline just him at that position.
When does this team end up like the Knicks and just burnt out
in the playoffs?
Like,
I mean, I feel like you get burnt out. I feel like we're gonna hit that sooner rather than later. As if you look on FOTMob on the momentum report, just like you said, right in the 54th, 55th, right until that goal happens, it looks like they're gassed out. And it's like, how much longer can you keep that up? We got spring coming now. Well, spring is on, you know, it's gonna come when it comes. But the summertime, bro, it gets hot out here. It gets super hot, and that's another factor that we have to take into, because you know this is where that's the time where people start getting cramps. You know, you gotta hydrate it as much as you can. And what happens when people just get a regular cramp? And they got to be taken out, and then what? You know, we just.
Well, we got
leagues. There's exactly leagues cups coming up. You have
Open Cup.
Open Cup. There's a lot of shit that's going on. It's a lot.
Open Cup is kind of soon, I think, too.
So like
at the end of April, I think we get back in it.
But we're not playing the twos this year. We're playing first team.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying.
No.
That's the.
But I think we have to really not talk about, but agree with Sanchez here. It's a great fucking point. We don't have any impactful midfield players, bro.
At all.
So like, okay, cool, yeah. Tavon Gray comes back. That's great. You know, him and the Lynch could go back and forth, but like, Maxey needs help, and there's no help for him. You know, thank God we found our striker in Martinez. But like,
if Wolf goes down right now,
what do we do?
We are.
What do we do?
We got Ojeda full time, and then we have nobody off the bench.
So it's like we're literally one injury away from full panic mode almost.
Yeah, you can't play like that. You have to be able to field at least two teams, you know, for these cup matches, for, you know, where you're like, okay, we'll take out some of the better starters, but at least, you know, we have people in there who's worth a damn. But like, come on, it's a tough time right now to be a City fan.
Correct me if I'm wrong. Leagues Cup this year is not just truncated into like a month, right? It's spread out like Champions League type matches, right?
Yes, I believe so. I believe it overlaps with league play. Yes.
Okay, so that means that they can't.
The other competition is 1 month, right?
Which one?
Not
Club World Cup.
Yeah, there's a break for the Club World Cup.
Yeah.
Okay,
but it's only like a 2-week break.
Yeah, gotcha. For group play. Yeah. So, but we don't. Leagues Cup kind of presented itself almost in like a reset moment last couple of years, where either you had momentum and then it was broken because you got eliminated early, or let's say you had some injuries and you use Leagues Cup kind of like, if let's say you got out early, kind of
period,
you know, little like,
rest,
oh shit, we're done.
Practicing.
You're resting, so now your team can be refreshed now for the second part of the season. So now we don't even have that sort of to like maybe look forward to with all our injuries. We have to be able to play just throughout the summer, nonstop. No, whatever breaks we have is not the same anymore. It's really, this is really like, I wasn't concerned until this weekend. Like to this level I am right now, especially like hearing you guys talk about it in that way. I'm like, I'm really concerned that after May we may just not have a team that has gas. At least our crucial players like Maxey.
And we're coming up to a very interesting part of the season because now we have Minnesota coming to town,
Minnesota,
which is I think they're in third in the West.
Yeah.
So they're not nobodies, you know.
No.
They're coming to town. Then Philly comes to town. You know, Philly always plays us hard. And then we got into back-to-back away games. We're coming into a stretch of the season where it's like every game is not a gimme because we're the gimme team almost. Like we're the team that like people are like looking forward to playing us because they might be able to get something out of our game.
They could either leave with a point or a win.
Yeah, like there's a possibility. It's like everybody is viewing us as like that's not a sure thing loss. Going there is not a loss anymore.
Yep.
So
it's almost guaranteed a point or 3 points.
So then if we don't sign nobody in this window that ends in 3 weeks, like we said, we'll be in serious trouble by the time the summer comes and the transfer window opens up again. We could potentially be in danger. Danger. Get on the floor.
What a crazy song, son. I feel like the stadium news should be, you know, more of a factor to want to bring people into the team. Like, I don't know, maybe next year is the year when we start really bringing in players. But like, you can't fill this team with the new stadium, bro. Like, this is crazy.
No, definitely not.
Absolutely not. Like that it's almost embarrassing, you know, to have.
I wouldn't even be thinking that far ahead, to be honest with you, bro. I was just thinking I wouldn't even start next year with this, the way this team is right now. Like, you need signing. Like, it's
no, but like, I'm saying like you start bringing them in now. Like, you get players to come in for a 3-year contract and have 2 of these years beforehand, so that you know people get acclimated to them. Like the latest is next year to start bringing in people. Like now we should. The stadium's right around the corner, bro.
I was trying to, because I'm trying to think like this is, you know how like NBA teams, like they'll see the college kind of draft class and then they'll kind of be like, all right, you know what, we got this guy coming into the draft, All right, next year. All right, you know what? We may hold off on signing somebody right now because next year somebody's going to be, or even free agent. We know somebody's going to be a free agent next year. Yeah. We're going to hold off, right? I'm trying to think of who is available this summer that the team is not trying to get anybody of substance this winter.
But that's
stop it.
That'd be crazy.
He's a free agent.
No, I know, but
stop.
Come on, he's my age, bro.
Stop.
Like seriously.
Totally different paths in life. Physically,
mentally, emotionally, you know what I'm saying? Economically, like, bro, let me get 10 racks, bro. Come on. That's nothing for you, baby.
That's ashtray money.
That's ashtray money. You drop that and be like, nah, you can take that.
You ever ashtray money?
Yeah.
Oh man.
Like quarters, nickels.
Yep.
I gotta make a phone call real quick. Let me pull over.
Yeah.
Scrambling through the thing trying to find 25 cents.
Oh shit. That's so funny. But
man, we see that mentality is LAFC has been thinking about signing Griezmann for the past 2-3 years.
Yeah. Or he's been rumored to it, yeah.
Yeah, and he's been like they've been holding a DP spot for it, he just re-signed to Atleti, I think. You know, so it's like, how do you take that approach as well? Like that's a hard approach to take. Whereas like, all right, we're gonna hold out for this guy. This guy, like, we think we could get something done. And then if it doesn't happen, you just spent the past X amount of time preparing for someone who didn't come.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. Like, it's like I don't see somebody who's even would be worth that. So like, if there's nobody to do that, why not try to do something now with what decent amount of people who are out there in the market? Especially like I know like a striker that was like out there, but in your midfield game there were some people out there. Miguel Almiron being somebody that was available,
and I know people are going to say, "Oh, well, let's sign Kevin De Bruyne." Honestly, I don't think Kevin De Bruyne can hack it here in MLS. I think his body, is not his talent. His body is no longer capable of doing it anymore.
Yeah,
it's like
there's a lot of travel in this country too, bro.
Yeah, so I moved past the part, the mentality of Kevin De Bruyne is a solution because I think we'll sign him and he's just not going to play as much because of injury.
Yeah.
You know, unfortunately that's the route his career is taken. So it's hard to say like who we go. I know the route that the team is most likely going to go try to find some unknown South American player.
Yeah, I was going to bring that up. Like, listen, we always have this discussion. Oh, which big name we can bring in? We're not going to bring a big name in. We're going to bring somebody who has talent that is going to be sold in the next 2 or 3 years. But the thing is, it always takes a while for these players to acclimate to playing in the United States, bro. It's a lot. Like,
I also think we also haven't targeted a player with a similar skill set as Maxi Morales either.
Yeah,
you know, I think that's something that we have to look into as well. Maybe we have to find. If we're going to go the young South American player, let's look for someone who plays like a traditional 10, if that's the direction we want to play as a team.
Yeah.
If you want to get frustrated, just even a slight bit with that, as you know, we're doing Spanish telecast only this year. So I was watching the La Previa, and when they were talking about Maxi, they were kind of like trying to do the swerve of, oh, you know what's another Argentinian 10 that can play like this and this. Obviously, everybody was started getting the Messi in their heads. Lucho Acosta.
Yeah,
and it's like you had that opportunity to get. He clearly upset with whatever situation he was going on in Cincinnati, and you go and you allow that man to go to Dallas. So it's like there's players in this league that work. He would have been a 1-for-1, and at this stage in their careers, an upgrade because obviously he has a little bit of more energy.
Imagine both of them playing on the field together, where it's like Maxi's playing a little bit more deeper, and Lucho's doing more of the running. Yeah. Think about how insane that would have been for us.
Just to have that as an option. You don't even have to like have that all the time. Just have that as an option with Maxi on the bench coming in, where now you get the most out of Maxi from the bench and somebody like Lucho to give you 70, 75 minutes a match. Things like that, like those kind of moves presented itself. And Dave, I know you wanted to talk about this because this is, I think, a good moment to bring this up. Players that, like you guys said, come in and all that stuff. We got our homie being like shaking, big,
playing off the bench and getting his goals. You know, like
scoring, winning trophies,
winning trophies and shit. Yeah,
like this is the team.
Dallas Magno. We're talking about Dallas Magno.
Yeah,
people listening.
Yeah.
Dallas
Sorry
Magno
about that.
Won the Paulista, I believe, Cup this past week.
Mm-hmm. And right now we're sharing a post from Ricon MLS that Corinthians is activating their extension on the loan because they like his performance, and he's happy to be there.
Of course he is.
So, you know, so you have players now that could have maybe weren't working here are now just deciding to stay there. Cacha is loving his time at Bahia in Brazil. Or actually, funny enough, our midfield that we thought was going to take over is currently in Brazil.
Having fun.
Having fun.
Yo, who's that kid that played in Salt Lake? I think he went to San Jose. South American kid. He was another one that we could have signed too. I'm blanking on his name.
Chicho, sorry?
Who is it?
Yeah, I think
Arango?
Yeah. Arango, yeah. Chicho Arango. Yo, he been playing for us, bro. He's on
in San Diego right now.
No, San Jose.
San Jose.
Oh, San Jose. Sorry, yeah.
It was one of those situations where we could have brought him over to NYC as well. You know, Christian Arango is who we're talking about. But yeah, Dallas Magno was another one who, you know,
he's not coming back. So
he's not coming back. So like, yeah, what do we do at this situation? Like, like we said, you can't bring this squad to the stadium because it doesn't offer anybody anything. Like, why would anybody who does not have season tickets watch this team and be like, yo, I want to get season tickets for the new stadium?
Because of this player.
Because of this player right here. You know what I'm saying? Like, we talked about it, though. We talked about it for a long time. James, signing a player like James who has that name recognition to start bringing assets to seats. You know, at some point,
James, you heard about what happened to his team in Leon, right?
No, what happened?
They're in our group, aren't they? For the Leagues Cup?
No, but it's not that they can't play.
But they're in our group, right?
Leo.
I
keep going. I'll check it. I'll keep going.
I believe Leon's in our group. The Leon can't play in the Club World Cup.
Why is that?
Because they're multi-team ownership within
look at that
in Mexico. Because I think the other team, I think it's Pachuca, who's owned by the same ownership, is also in the Club World Cup.
Jesus.
So Leon got the boot. You know,
they got the boot. Yeah, Easter one. Yep.
Yeah. Leon is we get to see James, a frustrated James that didn't get to play, not going to get to play the Club World Cup and the Leagues Cup at an empty Red Bull Arena.
Exactly.
So, I'm gonna be honest with you. That James is the kind of like name, where, just for the buzz alone, I think you take the chance.
Yeah,
but that's what I'm saying. We've been saying that for years, though, to bring him or a name like that to New York, so that people start getting interest into the club, into the team, because there's still a lot of people who don't even know about this club, who don't really watch MLS, and the product that we're bringing now is not it for 2027. It is not it. So,
but I always go back to, you know what also brings people to the seats though? Winning.
Yeah.
But
it's hard to win.
Yeah, it's hard to win.
It's hard to win without the quality players. But I'm saying, if you can focus on that, then if you can do what you need to do. For instance, you know me, I don't really watch it anymore, but baseball kicked off, and everybody's now hyped for the Yankees because
bowling pin bats.
Well, bowling pin bats.
Yeah. So bats, yo, I'm gonna have to give me one of them, yo.
These are the Yankees. I imagine cheating ass dudes, yo. These are my Yankees.
So imagine the Yankees up, like you put on 20 runs a game. That stadium's gonna be packed, though. You know, compared to what it's been the last couple of years.
Yeah.
Tommy had a great tweet. He said, "They play in a soccer stadium. What you expect?"
Tommy Battle. Yeah, exactly.
So
someone tweeted about is this Yankee Stadium even like a proper baseball stadium? Something like that. He's like, they play in the soccer stadium.
Yeah.
Hey, if you want to take a quick laugh on that, I saw a great video of a guy that put up some stats about that. He said that Yankee Stadium actually is a very neutral stadium when it comes to home runs, because while the right field porch, yes, is short, actually it's really hard to hit a single in Yankee Stadium as well. So that actually we rank low in amount of singles
Yankee Stadium is short, but no one talks about how Fenway's shorter.
Exactly. So
because he's got that big ass wall back there. That's why
it's shorter. You can hit a pop up.
For those that keep hitting on Yankee Stadium, it look. But yeah, it's crazy. Like it ends up being the same thing, Almost.
All right,
it feels.
Let's move on to the next game. Minnesota on Sunday.
That's a good team, man.
Sunday at a matinee. Sunday 3:00 Yankee Stadium. Breakfast Stella's in hand against Minnesota.
I don't know too much about the team, the way their makeup is right now, but dude, the way we're playing,
I'm expecting a great crowd though.
The way we're playing,
you're expecting a good crowd. Isn't that Mets opening weekend?
I don't know.
You might be right. Yes, you might be right.
Some Mets fans might not be able to go or choose not to go. Who knows?
Choose not to go. Yeah, you might be
want
right.
to see Juan Soto.
Juan Soto.
Wait, all right. So let's get this. Yankee Stadium gives us an advantage, one way or another.
Yes, it does.
On the supporter side, there will be no drums again, so let's expect a very
one less down, one less,
a subpar atmosphere. So that takes away some of the edge, instead of a 1 point favorite, now we're like a 0.5 favorite.
You have a point.
The line moved, but it's going to be hard to say we walk away with a victory.
Yeah, especially with a team like Minnesota.
Yeah,
I don't think we have a good record.
We're even.
Are we?
I think we only played like twice, right? Or 3 times, maybe.
Couple. It's like 2. We're like 2-2 and something on them.
I went to the first game ever, but not the first game. Yeah, I went to the first game ever.
2 wins for both, and then 1 draw. So pretty even head to head.
2-1-2.
Yeah.
I just don't see if we play. It's hard, bro. It's just
hard.
Like, how do you
walk away from with a win? The way we're playing, the only advantages we have is the field dimensions. It changes a little bit on how we scheme for them.
Yep.
But if they prefer a smaller field, also like it benefits them. I'm gonna say
my only prediction is sorry.
I'm gonna give a prediction there. I'm gonna say it's gonna be a wild game and it's gonna end 2-2.
Yo, that's what I was gonna say. I was gonna say we're gonna capitalize on mistakes again. So Cabezon's over here and shit. 2-2 win or 2-2 draw. I think that's what I was thinking. We're gonna capitalize on 2 of their mistakes, and they're gonna score 2 on us because it's a small pitch and they're a good team. So
I'm gonna do 2-1. I'm gonna do 2-1 us, just because I don't.
Respectable.
I just don't want to predict losses this year.
And it also helps us defensively too. Like less ground to cover.
Yep.
It gives opportunity for someone like Johnny Shore to have a little bit less of the burden on the defensive side, because Hack could be able to push up a little bit further than of Hack starting at center back, which I expect that to be the case. He could push up a little further because of the field dimensions.
I think Carrizo makes an appearance. That's really, I think, my main prediction.
That'd be dope.
That Carrizo makes like a lengthy, because at this point, if we do take it out, maybe the scenario, because if we do take it out, it's not going to hurt us really on the East table. Not necessarily we're not getting jumped crazy by any other team.
Mm-hmm.
So at least actually, I say that without really looking at the table right now. But it's we're what? Damn! I had to do like 2 scrolls. That hurt. So yeah, but if we lose. Still early on the 18 sucks. I don't. Yeah, Carrizo. That's my biggest prediction. I think he comes in and then that's where I want to see.
I do want to say this to the MLS fans who listen to this podcast who won't be going to the game if it's a lazy Sunday for you. It's one of those Sundays where MLS is staggered. Finally, there's a game. There's a match at 3. There's a match at 5, and there's a match at 7. And I mean, they're all decent games. You know, we have us versus Minnesota. The nightcap, I think, is Miami, Toronto, and then I think San Diego is playing. This is this Sunday coming up.
No, I mean, is the Miami game the Sunday night soccer?
Yeah, it'll be the Sunday night soccer. And then San Diego, who's actually in second place in the West, is playing against bum ass DC. So yeah, if you guys got nothing to do on this Sunday, you know, you got 3 matches to watch. They're not all at the same time. So shouts to MLS for doing that. But
you saw MLS news how they are announcing on a global, not the US market, but the global market, that they're going to show more games outside of Apple globally.
I feel like a lot of people have been complaining about Apple.
That's the
complain about
they're probably losing
MLS off of Apple.
They're losing the viewership because if you're not a fan of MLS or an MLS team and you live abroad, you just like soccer, you're not gonna pay for a service that you're not going to consume regularly. Exactly. Yeah. But if you put it on linear television or on cable TV, and I'm at home on a Sunday night, Saturday night where there's nothing to watch because all the games happened already.
Yep.
And locally, I could tune in and watch a game. I'll put the game on the background. We do that as it is. Like if there's a random game on, we'll put it on as a background noise or whatever. We'll sit back and watch a game that has nothing to do with teams that we watch or leagues that we watch regularly.
Isn't it nice when corporations come to realizations that fans had on day one?
Listen,
it's crazy.
You think fans just are making shit up all the time when it comes to the way they consume what they're a fan of.
Listen, you know, we talk about the downfall of baseball, but baseball is still one of the most popular sports in this country. Baseball fans are complaining about the whole Apple shit. I know a drummer who's in a band. He's in the 7. Is it the 7 Train Army? 7 Line Army?
7 Line.
7 Line Army. He's a member of the 7 Line Army. Huge Mets fan. Couldn't watch the game this weekend because he pays cable. The games are on SNY, and opening fucking weekend, the Mets are playing on Apple. He can't watch the game.
I got a question: Is baseball behind 2 paywalls on Apple, or just the singular Apple paywall?
I don't know. I think it might be one,
because I think that has a bigger influence for us because the 2 paywall system.
Yeah, we have
a lot of people get Apple TV Plus included in their service because they got T-Mobile or they got whatever. You know, they already get the Apple TV Plus. Sometimes when you buy a phone, you get
like 3 months, stuff like that.
Yeah. But then having
Tuesday now, you get MLS with it.
But so now you have to pay for an additional paywall, additional product for MLS. That's where I think is the problem. That's why people are like, if it was more of an open streaming service like Netflix, where it's just like you just pay one singular fee, and you get all the full service that product has, like full Netflix, or Amazon Prime is like that too. You pay for Amazon Prime and you get everything that's included in Amazon Prime. If you pay for HBO Max, you get everything that's included in HBO Max. With the live sports and the movies and TV. But on Apple, you pay for Apple TV Plus, you get the movies and TVs, but then you don't get
season pass.
You don't get season pass.
You got to pay extra.
You got to pay extra.
You imagine the balls? I mean, the audacity fucking Apple has, bro. You imagine if Netflix did that with WWE? Do you want to watch Monday Night Raw? You got to get Netflix and a WWE account. Well, like that's fucking crazy, bro.
It's crazy, but that's the thing that we said that when it started. We're like,
double paywalls was going to hurt.
What do you mean, like because
hurting the product?
The way it was understood to us was we're on their Apple TV Plus, so that's why I was hyped because I was like, oh, I already have that.
Yeah.
So I'm good. And then they hit, oh no, you got to pay a little bit more. I'm like,
double paywall.
I'm like,
luckily for us, we're season ticket members. We get that included. If it wasn't for that, it would be like we would be sharing an account.
Oh hell yeah!
Listen, Apple 1,000
33 and a third percent. My man's like,
what? You know,
yeah, facts. Yeah, we split that 33 and 3%.
Don Garber knows he can't charge me more.
That That is 100% true.
But that because that's been a big talk. Because I've seen like I think this season specifically, we definitely should do like a longer conversation, like just that status of kind of watching the MLS this year or what is becoming, because it is getting a little concerning. But I'm seeing a lot of reels and shorts of baseball fans. Like this one happened to be a Boston fan or Boston broadcaster or person talk about how he has to like NESN, and then you got to have a Prime account, then you got to have an Apple TV account, and then on top of that, NESN has blackout dates, so that you have to actually get the NESN like 360 app, and then the app is itself bad, so you have to have like 5 to 6 services just to be able to watch all your team's games now.
Well, that's a problem.
Which is, but what I'm saying that with
on the bright side, it doesn't have that problem anymore.
That's what I'm saying. With MLS though,
on one thing, but it's still not inexpensive. It's still like you're paying for 2 services, whether you're getting billed by the same person twice or paying 2 separate companies. You're paying twice,
correct,
just to watch MLS.
Yeah, but I think where I was going with that was more in like they like, for instance, like baseball teams, like you have the benefit of legacy. Fans are gonna become Yankee fans one way or another. New people are gonna become Mets fans one way or another because it's just ingrained in here. Could that be lessening over time? Sure, but you're always gonna have a new batch of those fans. MLS desperately needs new fans in order to maintain. The way they have this now, it's not going to be conducive to get new fans because you can't find this product on TV. I find out that there's matches on Fox because I watched the clips of John Strong talking. I'm like, oh shit, this match was on Fox. I didn't know this shit was on Fox. I forgot that they even has the matches still on Fox. So it's like you can't find this league anywhere in the States. So it's like they're gonna have to rethink how even beyond, like, just because turn back to Apple, even be the matches that are in front of the paywall, the ones that they're saying like it's free, it's still free on Apple TV Plus. Meaning, if I don't know anybody with Apple TV Plus, I'm not watching that match regardless. So it doesn't matter if it's free or not. I'm not finding that match as I'm scrolling through TVs or I'm going through my apps because I'm not watching Apple TV Plus as it is. So what's the point? I think like that's where they're at that point now where us fans saw that from day one.
Well, baseball, I just opened Apple TV Plus on my phone, and the baseball is not behind the second paywall.
No. That's just Apple TV.
Yeah, it's just
Apple TV Plus. Sorry.
Exactly. You're putting obviously, like you said, a legacy. I bet if they were to put this behind a second paywall, they'll make more money.
Yeah.
But they have the smaller league, the smaller fan base sport. MLS behind a second paywall is crazy, bro.
Yeah. It's like you're bleeding us dry at that point. Like and on a business side, all you're doing is just taking your current fan base and saying we need every dollar out of these people. You're not creating new dollars. You're just making more.
That hurts the bar atmosphere. You know, Dave, when we went up to Newburgh, remember the dude had the phone connected to like the aux.
Yeah. he basically streamed his phone.
To the TVs, to the bar to watch the games.
Because at the end of the day, like as much as we love this league, like we're very realistic. This league isn't, and you crazy because you saw the Athletic article, some of the quotes where owners were like, "Oh, people will choose the better league to watch," and it's like I don't think people will choose the better league over MLS. If you're an MLS fan, you're gonna watch MLS. But I'm not gonna pay extra to watch this if I don't know it exists. Whereas Premier League, I'm watching there because I can actually go and find it. It sucks.
Yeah, it's a long conversation. I think at the end of the day, MLS needs to go to fucking Peacock and just get it over with because I feel like they do it the best.
We'll see at the 5-year mark if there's an opt out or there's something changes.
Yeah, something needs to change because this double whammy over here. This ain't
it's hurting the product. It's hurting the overall experience of the league. and it's
Really
just
is.
and they were banking on Messi. That's all it was. You know,
Damn.
Yeah.
Banking on Messi.
I bet you when Messi leaves, they take away the second paywall. If we stay,
of course,
MLS,
absolutely.
MLS stays with Apple, they take away the second paywall after Messi leaves.
Absolutely. Absolutely. All right, y'all. I hope you guys enjoy the game against Minnesota, 3 p.m. Don't forget your breakfast Stellas. And yeah, we'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.